August 2025. Virginia parents squirrel through social media, paralyzed by fear. Dozens of kids missing. Watch for ice cream trucks at 1 a.m. TikTok algorithms amplify every click. Rumors swirl that children are being snatched, and sinister trucks are tools of their abduction. Hello and welcome to Crime Bytes, the show where we talk about some truly bizarre and disturbing crime cases. My name is Eliza. I've got Detective Scoop Dog with me here, and today is True Crime Tuesday. He really loves these treats. They're these Beggins, who is not sponsoring this video, but they swap me out for these like peanut butter sticks. I don't know if you've ever tried them, but Scoop is a huge fan. And they look like that, and yeah. Hang on. Yeah, anyways. Oh, yeah. Sponsor me, Beggins! And how many of you guys have been following the ice cream trucks in Virginia on TikTok? And while people have claimed to have debunked this sort of viral outcry, we're going to look a little closer at it. And our question today will be, what do you think? Is there anything more sinister to these late night ice cream trucks than just that? Late night ice cream trucks? Today we will attempt to peel back some of those layers, separating sensationalism from the truth, filling in the gaps with real cases and real data. Because the real story is complicated, or is it? Depends how far you want to go. And it's more pressing than the myth. But before we do get into it, let's pause for a quick promotion. And I'm just getting just over my halfway point of my fair season. So I'm going to promote my small business, Funky Sharky, again today. I do mostly resin work and preservation art, and today I'm going to showcase the horseshoe crabs that I sell. If you want something unique from the Northeast, may I suggest one of these butters? Not only have they been around since the time of the dinosaurs, their unique blue blood is imperative to our medical research, specifically in vaccines. And I find these guys while I'm walking around the coasts of Connecticut, already dead and dried from the sun, and I think they're so cool, and some people do too, so I sell them. So yeah, if you would like to get your hands on one, head to my Etsy. The link is right in the description. All right, so let's get into it. And it begins on TikTok with a video. It's a grainy shot of an ice cream truck quietly rolling through a dark Virginia neighborhood. And the caption reads, "This is how they're taking our kids." And it goes viral. More footage emerges, different trucks, different towns, all at strange hours, and online panic blooms. My son was online asking me about it, so I hopped on TikTok myself, and I mean, you can see it right here. Does not look good at all. By August 9th, clips claim that there have been 80 children missing in 10 days. And social media lights up, school groups buzz, neighborhood chat threads glow red, but just how accurate is this panic? So here's what state officials have to say. Between August 3rd and 9th, 88 missing child reports were filed in Virginia, which really does sound alarming. However, this is actually below the state's 2025 weekly average of 98 children, which also sounds terrible. However, Virginia reports missing children differently than most of the states do. The way that they report things is erring, I'd say, way on the side of safety, which makes their numbers look higher. From January through mid-August of this year, 2025, there have been 3,274 missing child cases in Virginia, and the number has probably climbed since I've filmed this. Only 4% remain unsolved, meaning most of these children are found, and most safely. So 4% would be 131. Of that, 3,264 that are unresolved, and I don't know, does that still sound high to you? 131 kids in about 8 months? Maybe it's not, but still. Anyhow, the reason for the 3,274 number is that Virginia forwards every missing child case that it receives to the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC. This makes its numbers look a lot higher than other states, but they do so in an attempt to bring more transparency, not to attempt to look like they are in crisis. And crucially, most of these cases involve runaways and not actual abductions, so these are reported in there as well. Virginia has two distinct alert systems: Amber Alerts, which I'm sure most of us are familiar with, and they use these for confirmed abductions, where a child's life is in imminent danger. Hello. And to issue these, they do require significant identifying information, something that we've considered recently with the Travis Decker case. Then they have a CODI alert. And CODI stands for Critical Operation for a Disappeared Child. These are a newer initiative for missing or endangered cases that don't meet AMBER criteria, allowing a broader response when suspicion or danger is present. So basically, they're like Virginia's attempt to solve the problem that we addressed in the Travis Decker case with the AMBER Alerts. Essentially, where they know the case is bad, but it doesn't quite meet the AMBER Alert criteria. Then in Virginia, a CODI alert would be issued. So far in 2025, Virginia has issued 2 AMBER Alerts and 25 CODI Alerts, and in these instances, for the CODI Alerts, every one of them has resulted in the safe recovery of the child, which is fantastic. An AMBER Alert was issued for 4-year-old Kai Foreman after being abducted in Norfolk in June of 2025, but by that afternoon, he was found safe in Virginia Beach, and the alert was canceled. However, on January 24th of 2025, the AMBER Alert did not end so well. Juan Sebastian Mejia Acevedo, who was 12, was last seen by his parents in Mejia Avenue in Virginia Beach, and they thought he was walking to his friend's house. When he didn't come back that evening, his parents would alert authorities and went live on Facebook to ask the community for help. As details circulated, the family received a ransom message via WhatsApp requesting $500, and they paid the money, but no further communication was followed. Police would later determine that the demand was a scam originating from outside of the U.S., and they would also say later that they felt that it was unrelated. But either way, it was definitely unrelated to what actually happened to Juan. So the next day, an AMBER Alert was issued for Juan, labeling him believed to be in extreme danger. The alert would describe him as a Hispanic male, black hair, brown eyes, about 5'8" and 105 pounds, wearing blue pants, a red hoodie, and black shoes. And then, just 2 days later, on January 27th, police recovered a body in a pond near where Juan was last seen, matching that exact description. The pond was located off of South Independence Boulevard and was searched by divers and marine units. Juan's body was found approximately 8 feet underwater beneath ice that was just about 3 inches thick. They would confirm that it was in fact Juan and that he had died of an accidental drowning and not foul play. Unfortunately, you have to be so careful when dealing with ice on ponds, even in January. Falling into a frozen lake is extremely dangerous. The water can be very close to freezing, which means you only have minutes before your body starts shutting down. And survival depends on staying calm and acting quickly and knowing what to do. So we're going to talk about that because you never know, and the more you know, right? So when you first fall in, you're going to experience a cold shock. Right when you fall in, it'll be a total shock to your system. You will gasp, hyperventilate, and possibly drown right away from that. So this is the point in time where it is, imperative to stay calm. And it lasts only 1 to 3 minutes because what comes next is loss of muscle control. And this sets in from the 5 to 10 minute mark, and it's so cold that you'll lose coordination and strength, making it hard to swim or pull yourself out. And 30 plus minutes is where hypothermia will set in, but then you will have drowned. So hypothermia is when your core body temperature is dangerously low. So if you find yourself in a situation like this, what should you do? Number one, and most important, is to control your breathing. When you first hit the water, your body will gasp involuntarily. Try and keep your head above the water and fight the urge to panic. Take slow, controlled breaths. This will give you a minute to think and then act. It's important to stay as calm as possible. Try not to thrash, because kicking wildly will waste your energy and it can even make you sink. Stay as horizontal as possible. Think floating in the ocean in the sunny Bahamas on your back. Then face the direction you came in, because the ice behind you held your weight before and it will be stronger than the ice ahead of you. So turn towards it, get your arms onto the ice, spread your arms wide across the edge of the ice to distribute as much weight as possible, and kick your legs to try and slide your body up horizontally on the ice, kind of like a seal coming out of the Arctic. And then you roll. You don't stand up. You stay on the ground laying with your weight all around as far as possible. You spread your weight and you crawl like that until you get to solid ground. And then once you've made it, you get warm as immediately as you can. Remove your wet clothing only if you have dry replacements nearby. Otherwise, keep them on, because they do hold whatever insulating air in. And then find shelter, wrap in blankets, use body heat, and most importantly, make sure to seek medical help even if you feel better, because hypothermia can worsen even after a rescue. It's a phenomenon known as afterdrop. The more you know. And my mom used to drill all this into me as a kid, so try and remember it, because it could save your life. But anyways, back to our ice cream trucks. Why do these viral theories gain so much traction? Because they tap our primal fears. Kids vanishing into thin air, predators hiding in plain sight. The ice cream truck is the perfect vessel for this kind of dread. It's normal, nostalgic, and then suddenly it can be so disturbing when it's brought into the wrong context. And this one where it looks like there's faces on it or something, is there like a horror show truck or something going around in Virginia? If you're from Virginia and you know, leave it in the comments, because I tried to search and I couldn't find anything, and now I'm curious. Maybe these are even edited on digitally, but they're definitely super creepy. But officials do stress there's no evidence right now of mass abductions or a coordinated kidnapping ring, and Virginia State Police confirm no such investigations are even underway, which... Meanwhile, child experts simultaneously warn runaways who lack protections of home are disproportionately at risk for trafficking and exploitation. There was also an incident kind of fueling this fire that was investigated by Richmond police in October of 2023. There was a passerby who believed that a child had been abducted by an ice cream truck driver, when in reality the child had been sitting on the truck's exterior rear shelf, and the truck began to move. The child was screaming and banging on the rear door to alert the driver that he was on the truck, who ended up being just as surprised. And authorities did determine that there was no kidnapping attempt in this instance. So the TikTok panic is a digital wildfire, bright and scary and viral, but ultimately right now false. Sure, vendors may be offering late night snacks and maybe even leaning into the hype, but as of this recording, there's no real evidence that any child abductions related to ice cream trucks have been taking place, or even that there's a spike in child abductions in Virginia. So maybe grab that late night ice cream, just keep one eye open. Yet, the real crisis does persist. Thousands of children go missing every year. Most return safely, but many remain in peril. And these cases, while some resolve quickly, others haunt for years, and those are the gaps we can't ignore. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this week, though. Until next week, stay informed, stay vigilant, and remember, the truth always matters more than the story. Stay safe out there, guys. Bye.